Oh, I guess it's that time again, huh? Is it that time again already?
Not soon
What?
enough, bro.
Oh,
Hell
man.
yeah. Let's go. Andor.
So,
What's up?
we're back for the after action report. We're going to be doing this more often. This is going to be the new. We're not sure. It doesn't matter what day we're doing it. It could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I don't know. But we're going to talk about the week stuff and what's going on. So,
We got
as
stuff.
always, we got to switch this. I can't be on that side. I can't. There you go.
You're always-
You got eye lines, dude. Eye lines drive me crazy. I hate when it's like this, right? I hate when it's like, hey, so what are we doing today?
Yeah.
When all it takes is a switcheroo, right? Like it
Do you
does
want me
drive.
to what? You want me to do this?
No, you're good. You're good. So here we are again. We got some familiar faces as always in the chat, but then we got some new friends. We got Matt's friend,
Ozzy.
What up?
Ozzy. So
Yeah.
so what is going on? What have you guys been up to? What's cracking?
There's
Ranting, raving, as always.
There's always there's Star Wars. There's definitely Star Wars out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars out there. There's a lot of
actually
news.
a lot of Star Wars out
We're
there.
gonna go over a lot of news. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on right now. There's Andor's kicking names and taking ass. There's apparently a Grogu movie in the works that got leaked out by some French people. That's French are like, we don't give a shit about Star Wars here. Take it.
Grogu.
We let you take it.
It's not Grogu, it's Baby Yoda, always.
It's Baby Yoda here.
That was
in
kind of
France.
Russian accent.
You Americans.
Yeah, I don't know. You've been playing too much Tarkov.
Yeah,
Bro,
you have
no, I
been
watch
playing
too much Marvel,
Tarkov.
bro.
Bro. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of news. There's Acolyte cast got revealed. That's moving forward.
I'm so excited.
There's a lot going on in the world of
Another
what is
announcement
Star Wars
today, too.
What's that?
We did another announcement today that I'm surprised you didn't mention. We'll get to.
Ooh.
Yes,
I'll talk about it.
Talk about it.
I want to ask chat if they know a certain person first, though.
So. Chat. He's asking questions.
You're up to the plate, chat.
Up to the plate time.
I'm sure they do. We have some sweaties here.
So let's start with.
Where do you want to start?
The question, the easy. Let's start with softballs, right? Let's start with mush balls. What do you think? Tony Gilroy doing a good job. Him and his brother doing a good job. Andor feels like it is gaining momentum across the fandom. Really, it seems like the people that were angry are less angry about it. Welcome, Dale. What's up, Steve? As always. Yo, what's cracking? He's licking our accent time. But yeah, it seems like everybody is starting to get on the train.
Yeah, especially with these last 2 episodes for Andor. That momentum is picking up like crazy. And I think this season is going to go out with a huge bang that's going to keep us drooling waiting for season 2.
I hope so, man, because I feel like it's going to need it. I feel like it's got all these other seasons already announced. And I feel like the cameos are going to get heavy.
Yeah.
Like we're going to see a lot of people that we already know in live action because the timelines are crossing over into Rebels and stuff.
Gaming pad.
We keep talking about Thrawn.
Well, but
he's got to show up somewhere, man.
Well, but here's the thing: is
me chills like when they say Mufasa.
Say it again.
What was the number? Something like 200 was the number of
named characters. Yeah, something like
man.
So I mean, where are we in that? Would you say?
I know. Like, is Santa keeping track of this?
I think
someone got the list.
I think that's something I got to do more. I think I want to do more. I think it's time to go back and rewatch, and maybe do a rewatch with. Santa had an interesting way he did his watch party. He muted it, he made it small, and he put a clock over the whole thing, so you couldn't really see what was cracking. Which is interesting. I'm curious if he's getting any shit about that. But my thought would be with that is go back and watch Andor and let's do a named character count, right? Let's start a count.
Yeah.
Let's see how many named bodies there are.
And it's not like they don't name them all in the end either, do they? Like a movie, like it doesn't pull up all the lists. So
not
it's not like you can just go look this stuff up. You would really need to.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
You
IMDb
need to do some homework, guys. I'm
sure IMDb is a good start because that'll give you an initial
good
count.
start, but I don't know how accurate it is because I've been looking at it and
as accurate
it
as we can be.
seems to be a little off in times because I'm playing the game of not just find the named characters. I'm playing the game right now of find the Rogue One characters. There's one already definite that he is.
Oh, that's a fun bingo game.
Yeah. Because I'm looking, and I was so sure about this one guy, the dude in the elevator with the mustache. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was in Rogue One. And I went skimming through the movie, and I didn't find him. And I'm like, why does he look so familiar? So I feel like he's somewhere, but it's this massive game of where's Waldo?
Right. Well, and that's just it. The prison was a big one because we found his buddy that's with him, the pilot, I believe.
It was Meshi. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But you know, here's an interesting take that I keep seeing a lot more people are getting into is that they like the spy aspect of this. It's not in your face. It's not I mean, it's pretty merciless, but it's not, you know, the typical Star Wars we get. And so I'm seeing a lot of people that are digging this, you know, Tony Gilroy Star Wars spy thriller, basically. I don't know if I can say I would say you need the equal to under the thing. Like it's got to be equal because
you know what it is? I like to a lot of people's points, like even like Darth Weaven's putting, you know, Andor better than Mando. And I can definitely see that, but for me, there's really no comparison. They're two very different types of shows. Like I think Mando is fantastic for its own reasons, and I think Andor is fantastic for very different reasons.
Yeah,
it's very simple, guys.
Oh, he's got
Mando has lightsabers,
right?
Andor does not.
There you go.
You're a fan of Star Wars lightsabers and Baby Yoda force powers, or you're a fan of Andor shit.
Yeah, and Steve's got the right attitude. It is Star Wars flavor. It's funny because I'm starting to watch a bunch of people. I don't want to say I'll use a Congress word. Recant their statements. I'll use a legal term. I've seen a lot of people recant their statements on, does this have a Star Wars feeling? Is this Star Wars, right? And for me, it's felt like that the whole time, right? I can't think of a moment where I didn't feel, you know, like, dang, they really got this, right? I do feel like they made a conscious decision to lump the first 3 episodes together and push.
I agree.
Number one, not playing the She-Hulk competition game on Wednesdays, but also, which they would have won anyway, because whatever. But then you give the audience the initial act of this unknown story, right? And it seemed like a really great way to kick it off. Way better than they would have done week by week.
Especially the first 3. Yeah, I agree. That was 100% a conscious decision to do it. I think it was the right decision, especially to get the ball rolling in this.
Yeah.
Because this is purposely a slower paced show. And that's fine because it works for this style. If Mando was this slow, it would not work.
Right.
You know, you can't have a bunch of guys walking around in Mandalorian armor talking. Like, it's just like, you know, there's no thrill there, but it's a different type of thrill that we're getting. It reminds me of like scenes like in the movie Inglourious Basterds, the scene where they're just sitting at the table.
Yeah.
What is that? A 20-minute scene or something like that, where they're just talking, and it's one of the most suspenseful things in the movie.
Well, I mean, look,
I love that movie.
Yeah.
There's so much positive feedback now, right? There's so many people that are, we're initially upset. This is why I continued to say, stop and relax. Let's let the storyteller tell us what's going on. I mean, that's putting the book down in the first chapter and then missing a great story, right?
Yeah.
Adaptations are never the same, going from book to script or whatever. But this is different. This has a different feel, which is really fun. This is like Hawks was saying in our Discord chat. The Emperor's like, yo, they're darker than this. Is the darkest I've ever seen the Empire be portrayed. Right there, we always know they're the awful jerks in the story. You're the bad guy. Everybody else is the good guy. But this is some dark shit.
It's gonna get worse too, I
Oh,
think. And Lucian keeps saying that we said it last week, like he wants the Death Star. He doesn't know it. He is literally calling for the first Death Star to fire a test shot. Like,
well, and he gives
wherever that ends up being
zero shits about the body count.
That was wild.
Body count be damned. Good.
Already knew that he was like a little unhinged about
but
it.
he's playing. Look, and this is this is funny because I have these long conversations about rebellion in general, right? And this guy is like, Luthen is playing chess, right? He's willing to sacrifice a few pawns to make his opponent attack, right? He's absolutely playing a long game here. And his conversation with dude in the elevator was brilliant, right? And that's the thing about this whole thing is the sacrifice. What have you sacrificed? Hold on. Let me call out to the things that I have sacrificed real quick.
You might as well pull out the here's the scroll.
Let me take my scroll. Everything.
Star Wars monologues are a dangerous profession. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Like him and Andy Serkis had amazing ones in this episode,
bro.
Dude, but like so many times it's fallen on their face.
Yeah. Oh, the two of them though.
Oh, yeah.
Just point that the acting chops on these two alone.
Oh man,
they're stealing the show for me.
Like
I just every moment they're on screen.
I hope that's not the last time we see him either.
Yeah, it's
our Imperial buddy.
No, Andy Serkis's character.
Kona. Is it Kona?
Yeah, because the guy that can't swim, the leader in the prison,
dude, and he started
behind. So
yeah, well, you see him start backing off, right?
I feel so bad for that dude.
Yeah,
right. Like you really
you think he tried? You think he'd jump?
I don't know. That's what's being left to the mystery right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
the crowd starts going past him, and he's kind of backing inward. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the last time we see Kino, but I hope it's not, because that whole moment where he finally gives in to what Cassian's telling him. It's like, you have to understand that this is what's happening right now, and you have to be the one to tell everyone. And the emotion, that close-up shot of him on the microphone, on the same microphone that we see Han Solo talking to the Imperials on.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine here. Yeah. It was just that moment, guys. I was literally like, I was getting teared up for him. I was like, this dude is breaking down.
And here's, unfortunately, one way in, one way out, without a ship there docked. That was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Implied in the introduction to the prison was like, this is the only way in or out. Ship comes or you die, right?
Yeah.
I did see a couple people were like, well, hold on, let me get my.
Oh, here we go.
Well, how are they swimming away? I mean, everybody was like, you're trapped, right? You're trapped.
And they shut off the intake, right? They shut off the intake, which is what would have sucked them in to die, right?
Yeah. The flow was gone.
The flow was gone. So they could swim away. Like that was the whole idea. When you saw it, it was like rustling and you could hear the ship and
shut it down.
They shut it down, and then everybody jumped 100 miles down to what should have been their death. Apparently, water on this planet is more viscous than regular water.
I was like, that's a high jump.
That's like, what do they say? 80 feet is like jumping onto concrete. I'm like, so what? These guys were on it is a different planet. Maybe the gravity's a little like, yay, okay. Maybe you had to jump like Mario, right? I don't know. Right? Like Mario. But I think
so. And then Andor looked at Melchi and he was like, we don't have to outswim everybody else. Or we don't have to outswim the sharks. We just have to outswim everybody else. Sorry, I messed it up even because they were the
I don't know if you've ever been chased before. I don't know if you've ever been chased by anybody, whether it's a bully, the police, whatever. The idea is I don't have to outrun him. Exactly. I just have to outrun you two. That's it.
Exactly.
Right? I just got to outrun you.
Yeah. So we know Cassian has no problem taking out other people. But Maximus makes a good point, and I've noticed that right away too. They end up just the two of them.
Dude.
Like which direction did they go? Because I'm sure a bunch of these guys did not survive the jump.
Oh, no doubt.
Or the swim. My God. The age, like the average age in that place varied a lot.
What?
Like they literally swam bro, no.
No, dude.
I think Andor's lucky.
They swam miles.
Yeah, dude.
Look, I'm sure some of them got to the edge of that thing and went, nope, on program.
On program.
Or picked up the closest blaster and went the other direction back
on program, right? Look, I mean, I try to not use physics in Star Wars. Number one, right? Lightsabers. Number one. Boom. Automatic physics out the window. See ya. Inertial dampeners, like all this stuff that exists in Star Wars is fantasy. So gravity is fantasy also on different planets that are not Earth. End of story. Sorry, not sorry. But aside from the jump, these two end up alone. And what better I'm gonna say it. What better way to build an allegiance to another person than escaping that prison? Not just prison, right? That prison.
Yeah.
And being the dude that was like, yo, I know how to get us out of here. Trust me, let's get out of here. Right.
And now it's not just one man's word for it. Now 2 people are going to tell them that they're putting people in prison with no intentions of ever releasing them, and they're building something massive.
Well,
or they're producing all the shit. Like,
what better recruiting tool?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that at some point Cassian's going to run into his friends again, right? At some point he's going to run back into Luthen. He's going to run back. Somebody's going to find him, whether he goes back to Ferrix. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Ferrix.
Yeah, whether he's dumb enough to go back to Ferrix, and we all know he's dumber than shit.
Yep.
He's good instinctively, but he's got bad decision-making skills. Hey, what are you doing? Why you keep looking behind you? Because these guys are running at me from behind, bro. I'm on vacation. Go check my girlfriend that's naked in bed. Right? Like
he's got to get back to that shower top. He's got to get that
kind of
that dough.
Conversation he should have instead of what? I wasn't doing anything, right? So he definitely doesn't, he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. But yeah, I mean, I think it's important to look at that, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's definitely gonna go back, I think.
Well, his mother's there.
Going back there.
She's on her way out. Like she wasn't in this last episode, but they talked about her.
Right.
That she stopped taking the meds that she needed, and because she wants to stay alert, because she's still fighting this rebellion. She's still going at this. But I think I'm thinking by the time Cassian does go back, I'm thinking she's gone by the time he gets there.
I mean, it would add to his what's the word I'm looking for? To his anger, right? Not getting her
towards
out
the Empire,
towards everybody. I mean, in Rogue One, he hates everybody, right?
Yeah,
he hates everybody.
Yeah.
He's just there to stick it to the man, right? He hates everybody. So, these and that's the great thing about the storytelling that Tony's doing is that they're showing why he hates the Empire so much, why he hates everybody so much, why he trusts nobody. Right? This is how Cassian Andor becomes the guy in Rogue One, right? Because they're two kind of different people.
Yeah.
They're not the same. So, but let's get to the big speculation of this show so far, right? Is Kino Snoke?
Yes.
Oh, we're diving in, are we?
I know, right?
I think a lot of people have talked about it. It's hilarious to me.
So,
Oh man,
is he a dark experiment, right? Like, is he the only one left?
there's no shot. But
Dude.
it would be the greatest troll of all time,
Could
and I
you
would love them
imagine?
for it.
Because
If
I
they
was
even use
This is
his
how I
body for
feel.
the first time and it fails, like I don't even know what they
Mhm.
would try to do. But
I don't
if
know.
they just hinted at him being experimented on, and it wouldn't even have to be specified, I would just laugh my ass off.
I mean,
He's just being probed by some scientist. That's all I need to know.
but I mean, for me, I feel what's the word I'm looking for? I empathize with the guy because he's the last one to get on board with the plan, right? He's the last one to be like, all right, I'm in. And then you go and there's a way out, but he's like, I don't swim. And I'd be like, I would not care. I would learn to swim real fast, right? Like, how do you teach kids to swim? You throw them in the deep end and watch and make sure nobody goes under, right? They'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we were taught.
Yep.
Dale's like I just said 5 minutes ago, Kino Snoke.
Yeah, I'm boomeranging back to what you were talking about, baby. I'm here.
Here's the thing. I was earlier today rewatching The Last
Wait,
Jedi.
can Snoke swim?
No way, not with that robe.
Not with those lanky ass arms.
But it just popped in my head. And I was just like, could you imagine? I just started thinking it through. I was like, in his last final moments of desperation, I can't swim, I can't make this jump. And someone from the Empire, maybe not Palpatine, but maybe someone on that scientific side of everything is like, listen, we'll let you live, but you're an experiment now.
Don't justify it, please.
Dude, I had it all running through my head today. I'm like, and then he lives, but then he becomes this. Look at this.
Spent all day writing that down.
Spent all day thinking about this awful, horrible stuff.
It made my brain explode when I popped in there, and I was like, "Oh God!" I just conjured up the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Why?
Why? Ray, we talked about this, Ray. Right?
I tried to
Somebody
think.
asks you if you're a god, you say what?
If someone asks you if Kino Snoke, you say no.
I mean, I'm sorry. If my options are going back in there and getting electrocuted by my feet, unless he goes in there and kills everybody, which would be an equally as great a death scene. He finds he knows where those guys are hiding and just guts everybody, and he looks like John Wick after a massacre. Then I'm down for that too. He puts on some boots. There's a montage scene of him putting on some boots. Like, electrocute me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no. I thought that was fun. I'm gonna give that a big no, but that's so much fun. I mean, if it's death or that, I'm jumping out. I'm jumping. Sorry, not sorry.
Maybe he didn't know what the experiment was.
Yeah. Oh, you mean I'm gonna get the Force? I'm in.
Yeah.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Wow.
Man. Hey, anyways, let me share this.
That's awesome.
You guys, let's start with the most recent announcement that I saw.
Oh, he's jumping.
He gave him Luke's hand.
How do I
what if they just sew Luke's hand onto him?
Curious if chat knows who this is.
Oh, I love that you still have control. This makes me so happy that I don't have to do any of this.
He doesn't have control.
Co-piloting.
Chat has to know who this is.
This is awesome, actually.
What are we looking at here?
So this is Princess Mononoke. She is a character from Studio Ghibli.
Mm-hmm.
Studio Ghibli today, like 6 hours ago, teased that they are doing their own Star Wars Lucasfilm project. So it will be a cartoon. The
Visions 2?
dopest thing about this,
Visions
no.
2.
Maybe. I think they're gonna possibly do their own thing because Princess Mononoke is who Dave Filoni modeled Ahsoka Tano after.
Mm-hmm.
So if no one has seen this movie, you need to go out and find it. There's other Ghibli characters though, cartoons that you'll recognize. You just wouldn't know without being told it was Ghibli. You know what I mean? It's kind of popular as far as anime goes, but that announcement was sick and I'm super hyped for it.
Is that what the leak was?
No,
Or is that
Ghibli's
two different
Twitter,
things?
Ghibli's Twitter put out just the Lucasfilm logo pop up.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Right. And I mean that's the awesome thing here is that this is more anime, which is great.
Dude, and like these wolves talk in the movie. Like it's a spirit wolf, just like Ezra's wolves that talk to him on Lothal. It's
Wolf
literally
wolves.
a carbon copy of those wolves, bro. Like you can't make this shit up.
Hold on.
It's cool.
Thought you ought to know.
Hey, we can transition right over into that because
It might be.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Let's stay on target. Yeah. I mean, this is great. More outreach into. I mean, look, if this is Dave Filoni's inspiration for a character that's quite loved, I'm all for it. I'm in it. Let's go. Give me more Visions, right? If you haven't read that Visions comic book, I highly recommend getting out and getting that. I think it was a comic book, right, that just came out.
They have a few new comics that just are about to hit.
So
actually StarWars.com just put a whole thing on it.
Right. So there's
issues.
So yeah, give me more Visions. That one episode was fantastic. I would love to watch that. That's kind of how I view
really.
That's kind of how I view Ahsoka Tano as it is now. Like Ahsoka Tano is at this point a Ronin. She is a Jedi without code or without master, without creed. She just does what she feels is just. And so give me more of those kind of stories. We're just going to transition into Acolyte. This is great. So Acolyte, we were worried that it wasn't going to get made for a while.
Yep. A lot of people were.
Yeah.
So we were all kind of worried that, is Acolyte going to be a thing? Is Acolyte going to be done? Well,
because they were canceling Rogue Squadron and moving a bunch of other things around, I think, at that time.
Right. So we have a cast. Welcome. We have a cast, and
Carrie-Anne Moss.
I think the biggest star there that is definitely Carrie-Anne Moss.
Oh, 100%. When you throw Trinity into Star Wars, let's go.
That's a Squid Game. That's our buddy from Squid Games, right?
Yeah, man.
But I think Trinity has a longer stand. Great. I mean, I know she's a little older, but what a great not a martial artist. What a great actress that is used to wire and stunt coordination, right? To bring into this is, I mean, the only person I can think of that would be a better fit, not a better fit, a better quality of actor that knows weapon protocol, that knows, swordsmanship, that knows how to deal with the green screen and the wires and all that stuff. What a better actress to bring into this than Carrie-Anne Moss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
she definitely has the acting chops and the experience with what I would imagine is going to be some pretty crazy filming sets with this.
Dude, if she is not somehow yielding a lightsaber, I'm already pissed. Right, because give her and Keanu lightsabers and put them in a Star Wars movie and that shit will sell. I'm sorry.
My money.
Take my money. Right? I mean, you put those two in a movie together. I mean, not just one of either of those two, and obviously he's off to not doing John Wick, so we're not going to get a live action Keanu in Star Wars anytime soon. But to bring Carrie-Anne Moss is great because she did all that slow-mo, all that Matrix style, right? We all that Matrix style acting, right? Bullet time.
Yeah.
All that bullet time acting stuff. She's already done it. So what better person to bring into the fold and give a lightsaber and say, let's do some cool Yoda Yaddle style fighting with a humanoid Jedi, right? That's a win. That's a W.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting where the combat training comes from and who is really like the elder of these dark side people that they follow.
God, I hope it's her.
I hope she's one of them. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of hope the Squid
how
Game
great.
guy is one of them too. Do you recognize this person right here? Dean Charles Chapman.
I don't recognize him. I recognize Rebecca Henderson, but I don't know from what.
Well, and I recognize Charlie Bennett also.
This dude was Tommen Baratheon in Game of Thrones, and he threw himself out the window.
Oh,
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. He all grown up now. This girl too. She was Rue in Hunger Games.
Yep.
She was like 10,
Okay.
11, something like that.
But you know what? Obviously the Hunger Games.
She's the lead.
She's the lead.
Yeah.
Now she's supposed to be the Padawan, or I'm guessing
I don't think they've really said yet. I don't think they've said. From what I know, there's going to be siblings or I believe friends that get separated. I think it might be siblings.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the synapses, I think first couple episodes are being talked about.
All right. Well, we're gonna go back to Andor real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you see it? Yeah, the new Lego set.
The new Lego set.
Yeah, we figured it out.
This is Andor, Andor prison.
Yeah, it's only 4 steps, but I promise you, this set will last you a lifetime.
And you'll keep doing it forever.
For ages 8 and up.
There are some small parts we don't want the children using this.
That's hilarious. Okay.
No,
yeah,
anyway,
this is great. A lot of us were worried that this wasn't going to get made. This was supposed to be what the darker side of Star Wars, right? So, you know,
I've been corrected. It's 100 years before the Phantom Menace.
This is going to be because again on StarWars.com today they talked about this a little bit. It's going to be right at the end of the High Republic era, and then like you said, 100 years before Phantom Menace. So we're gonna have a lot of time to play with here.
This is a Plagueis time.
And I am not putting it past them to show us a potential how the High Republic ended. And we know a Jedi that survived that.
Well, that's
Yoda.
The thing is that there's
I
a
think
lot.
Yoda could make an appearance.
There's a lot of speculation. This is so Matt and I get into dark theories sometimes, and our current my current dark theory, my favorite dark theory is evil Mario, and not Wario, not Wario. No. Evil Mario. So, the dark theory surrounding Yoda is that why is he the sole survivor? Right? There's a dark theory as to what was his involvement in the demise of the High Republic. So, you know, it's
or you know, the other thing to think about too, because I'm always trolling Yoda. But what if it was like the time where, and we're in a time now where Grogu is like the next most powerful potential force thing in the universe. What if everybody in the High Republic knew that shit too, and they did everything in their power to save him?
Oh, so you're saying Yoda had
to survive in order
coming out of the cupboard
to live on.
After the thought bomb, Yoda was the last man standing.
Yeah, he had.
So are we going to get? Is this how now? Correct me. How far back is Bane?
Thousands.
Yeah, that's way back.
That's what separates it, and that's why Old Republic is so far away from being done. It's thousands of years before all this.
So this would be a primal opportunity for them to just show us a really dark rule of 2.
We'll get holocrons potentially and names potentially.
Yeah.
Plagueis. This is like Plagueis era.
Well, Plagueis would be young
Tenebris.
here. Plagueis would be young.
Yeah, this would be 100 years before we get a 60-year-old Plagueis or a 60-year-old Palpatine. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we're like 160 years.
Oh yeah.
back.
So you figure.
No, it is only 100 because it was Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
So it's 100. Maybe 40 years before the birth of Palpatine.
Before Palps. Yep.
And so,
I'm just
Plagueis has just come into power, so we could see Plagueis becoming
Tenebris. Like, yeah, we have to have Tenebris.
Well, Tenebris would be the same time as Palps, right? Because those two basically fought.
I didn't know that in the book.
Basically, Tenebris, Plagueis has multiple apprentices, and there's a battle.
Tenebris is the master of Plagueis and gets killed early. So Tenebris is like the tier above so it's Tenebris, then Plagueis.
Well, see, and that would be
all of the acolytes.
I thought it was Tenebris. I thought Tenebris was the other apprentice.
He's the master. Chat's gonna correct us. I'm not seeing anyone do it yet, but they're out there. I know you are. I'm pretty sure Tenebris was Plagueis' master. And Plagueis literally drops rocks on him to kill him. So
that was like at the beginning of the book too.
Right at the beginning. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Then the whole like acolytes and that kind of stuff. I don't know about anything about that.
Tenebris had backup apprentices that came after
For sure.
So this would be a great time to see Plagueis' rise. This would be what an awesome way to intro intro a young Plagueis and Tenebris taking out the old Jedi Order. Right? And then Plagueis maybe drops stones on his head. Yeah, I mean that's how this is how the dark side runs. You kill your master to become the master, right?
Yeah.
You don't just go, hey, I'm gonna go start my own 2 guys. So,
I'm gonna go start my own club and get my own apprentice. Cool.
Yep.
That's not how that shit works.
Pretty much.
Right? Like, oh, you want to leave? I'm gonna snap your neck. So
I do have a worry about Acolyte. And this is one of the shows that I've been anticipating the most. And I'm so glad that it's finally on track. I really want this. I want the dark side story.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about the same thing that happened in the Battlefront 2 campaign happening here, where we play as the bad guys, but halfway through you're good now. I don't want that to happen in this show. I want this to follow the dark side from start to finish.
Yeah, man. Like
it's fine to see, like, if we see a character struggling with the light, that's fantastic. Go for it. It happens to Jedi all the time. So why not the reverse? We saw it with Ben. We saw it with Kylo Ren struggling with the light.
We need more in depth, though. We need these characters as their children. We need them.
Yeah.
Bro, I would just, for one time, I would love to see a Force user who's never told anybody about that shit because they're 5 years old and they just floated something for the first time in their life. Like, imagine just discovering that you have that power and what that would do to you. Would you hide it? Would you have the wherewithal to know not to tell anybody? Like, I want that stuff, dude, because those are the types of characters that are wild cards and they get turned to the dark side.
100%.
But we have never seen dark side teachings. Like, we have never seen what a Sith Lord really teaches from that age, if they could ever have an apprentice that young.
Well, and that's the hook with the dark side, is they don't like young children.
Oh yeah, you're right, because they're looking to
that's a big thing with them. They prefer to either find a natural ability that hasn't been sucked up by the Jedi Order,
or way to manipulate it,
or to turn Jedi.
Right. Build on hatred, build on something that happened to them.
Right. And like Maul was Palpatine's apprentice, but he went and sought him out as a young boy. He was not at infant
Yeah,
age.
that's what I'm saying. He took him from Dathomir.
Yes, he went and basically
So-
purchased him.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about the dark side is they don't want to play with, little kids. They want people who are already apt, who are already trained, and then I can tweak and turn and twist what you've learned.
Yeah. And I think there's so much potential, especially with that cast lineup. If you look at that cast, the first thing I thought about was the original trilogy, the original film, Star Wars.
Mhm.
You get this young group, and then you get the one seasoned actor that's with that group.
Right.
And here we got it. We're doing
So
it.
is she the Harrison Ford of
She's the
Acolytes?
Alec
Is that-
Guinness.
Okay, you're going.
Yeah, she's the Alec
You're
Guinness
going
of
Alec
this
Guinness.
group.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm
wait,
going
is he
Alec
talking about
Guinness.
Luke and Leia and that.
I mean,
group?
at the time, Ford was what, 30? He was 30 at that point.
So she's
so-
like old Ben Kenobi.
But I'm saying, like, you take this, like, because I feel like this is where these young actors, they're going to be looking to her.
Oh shit!
Hey, what up?
What up, boys?
That's a Mustafar.
I know that guy.
All right, all three things we talked about. Go.
Oh, hold on, there. Steve's here. Hold on. I had to give him some intro music. Okay, we're done with that.
How's
shit.
everybody doing?
Good, man.
Good man.
What's cracking,
Riding high off that fantastic episode 10 of Andor.
dude? Right?
Yes, just go in, man, because we can bounce more ideas
Yeah,
off
we're
of you.
boomeranging. Go
Mhm.
hit it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boomerang it
what,
back.
did what did we hit today? Hit already, man.
No,
I
no,
mean,
I'm saying start where you start
there's-
with your thoughts. Bring in your thoughts because we already have people that are boomeranging back to Andor anyway. Padres Palpatine's like, yo,
I saw so real quick. I saw some, and we'll get to Pod Racing Palpatine's comment, but I saw Star Wars Explained made a video on how Kino like saved the rebellion. I haven't watched it yet, but it got me thinking just looking at the thumbnail, like, there's a couple characters and moments that like really did kind of save the rebellion. And in a way, Kino's sacrifice really did save the rebellion. Hopefully he survived. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So, do you think he tried to jump and swim with everybody, or do you think he? What do you
If
think?
I was him, I would have said I'll take my chances in the water over.
dude, somebody
you
put me
know.
on their back. Let's go.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say,
it's a long
kept you sons of
swim.
bitches alive this whole time. Someone carry me.
Listen, no. Who's
Right.
who's going to ask
going.
Steve the real question about Kino?
Okay.
Go.
Where are we
What's the
going?
real?
Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
already asked it.
We
Oh.
need to know. We need to
I know
know.
where this is going.
Chief, is Kino Snoke?
Yes, of course.
You heard it
I
here
mean,
first, folks.
Oh, you're
Andy
funny.
Serkis. Why would they get the
I
same?
said, why do you do
Come
that?
on,
Why?
come on.
Oh.
Nah, it's probably not. But in all fun, who knows? I mean, maybe he is.
The biggest troll ever. I said, if they just say they're experimenting on him, they don't even have to specify why, and I'll be fine.
It's gonna come out that in the background this whole time, J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson have just been in the background, like you got
Just
it.
having fun.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
So, what do you guys think? Though, do you think he jumped?
I think
into
he's
the water?
100% Snoke. Oh wait, no,
Okay,
we're on
well,
something else.
Hold
Okay.
on, guys. Hold on, real quick.
No,
Hold on.
for
I
real.
gotta take a quick drink.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That right there.
What a
is-
cut.
You want me to
product
show you? I
placement.
can show them the waitress that brought it.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
But you definitely got to get over to the Mac Cave and get one of these.
Oh, I need
got a
one of
new
those.
shirt?
Everything's so much better.
Ooh, I love it.
oh, that shirt is sick.
That's pretty fire, my guy.
No, now continue, please.
Well, just real quick, it is pretty fire. I would know clearly, but do you guys think that he survived either jumping into the water or honestly, my kind of thoughts? I think he maybe even stayed behind, and what he really wanted to see was everybody else get out, and him being kind of the leader and in charge of everybody. I wouldn't even be surprised if in the next couple of episodes with the finale here, we see a scene where the ISB is interrogating him, and
Well,
he is kept alive.
Ooh.
what I was saying, I mean, what a better way to just secure to just go on a rampage. If I'm not going to jump out that door, I'm going to go grab some boots. I'm going to lace up some boots. I'm going to grab a couple blasters. I'm going to go find the rest of those prison guards. I'm going to gut everybody coming out looking like Carrie, right? Gut everybody. and then start liberating other floors, every floor, right?
Yeah.
Until you can get to the next facility and the next facility and just try to take down the whole thing. If you're not going to fall in the water and try to swim away, you got to kill everybody.
You know what? I mean, something that's going to be on his side, at least I think, because the facility is so in the middle of nowhere, it's practically ignored. Eventually, another ship is going to come in with only what, 2-3 guys in there bringing a new prisoner in. There's his ship.
Well, and the question's going to be real fast, right? The Empire, real fast, is going to be like, why did production shut down on float 26 or whatever float there, whatever number cage they're in, right? We know he was on 4B, but
the Empire's going to be pissed.
Oh, dude, they're coming in for production. And here's the thing, and that's kind of why I called this the after action report, is because there's going to be an after action report. How did they defeat this system?
What do you mean he blew it up?
Wait.
oh my God, he's crying. Wait.
What the hell's a Millennium Falcon?
You guys
I think comparatively, real quick, like in Palpatine's eyes, because he is the mastermind behind the Empire.
I'm so sorry, my giant space station was blown up by a bunch of teenagers.
In Palpatine's eyes, though, I think what happened to Aldhani, and to hit from his perspective, that's nothing compared to losing all these prisoners and production on whatever was going on that planet. You know what I mean? So I think there will be some pretty major repercussions.
Okay, so here's a wild take. All right, here's a left field, out of control. I'm gonna put this to the side. Here's a crazy take. Are those parts that they're making, and this is gonna, are the parts that they're making for Thrawn's TIE Fighter Elite program? And does that give them a reason to introduce the 7th Fleet? Because now this is the same time as Rebels, and we know his TIE Fighter program is big on his list. So is this one of Thrawn's facilities?
That would be pretty sick, because we were talking about this last time, that they look like the internal piece for a TIE Fighter wing. But when we looked at those at a standard TIE Fighter, it looks different. But what does the advanced ones look like?
Right, exactly. And that's my thought. Are these parts for the TIE Fighter Elite? And all of a sudden, is this a reason for Thrawn to show up? Right? It's like, oh, wait, you know,
any reason's a good reason. Let's go.
Any reason's a good reason. But my point is that they have to justify it. Thrawn can't just, he can, but this would be a great way, because I've honestly argued for a while that Thrawn is an ISB agent.
Yeah.
Thrawn isn't just an average admiral. Why does he wear white and everybody else wears, home grays or whatever? Why is he always in a way white? Right. And then you go to the ISB and they show us the ISB in Andor, and you're like, whoa, all these people are in white. All of the command level people, all the people that have a seat at the table here in my offices, they're going to report to Thrawn. How do we know he's not in charge of the ISB?
He could have been somebody.
He could have been somebody. We don't know.
Well, from the books is kind of how we know, mainly.
But how much along those lines are they going to follow, right? I mean, literature and going to live action has never been the strong suit of this.
We could get Callus
instead of
Thrawn. We can get everybody, man.
We could.
Honestly, Dedra Moreau.
That's what I'm saying.
We can get Lobot.
We can.
That would be cool.
I want Toby.
Dedra Moreau, to me, though, reminds me a lot of Thrawn in terms of her kind of detective work and just how she kind of thinks outside of the box. She's definitely, she's not on his level. I'm not going to say anything like that. But I think that could be kind of a prelude to the kind of spy thriller that we're getting in this show. And I do think Thrawn could show up in it. But
we got Colonel Yularen, right? We got Colonel Yularen. That was a high-ranking,
of course,
general or colonel, high-ranking colonel in Anakin's under Anakin's
this dude transitioned from the Republic to the Empire.
So he transitions from and then they give him a high-ranking seat at the ISB. But all of a sudden, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, well, we've seen all these lieutenants and captains, okay, and then we got this major, okay, and then this colonel comes in that we know, and you're like, oh shit, okay, so he got a white shirt. This is like the varsity team of messed up people in the Empire, right? I mean, this is varsity colors here. All of a sudden, I'm starting to watch Rebels again, and as soon as Thrawn shows up, I'm like, ho, we got a Grand Admiral in white. Whoa. What if the ISB is his? That's why he's so good at tactics and strategy. Is because he's working the system.
Oh, yeah.
He's got all his little birds. If you want to go back to Game of Thrones, he's got all of these little birds out in the wind tweeting and sending him information. Dude, that to me, that sounds more likely that he is the top
Dude,
of the
I kind of
ISB.
want to put her up there on Thrawn's level. Like, she's the only one noticing the unnoticeable.
For
Like,
sure.
she's the only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
digging
and
deep
she's
where
like the
no one else
she's
is
like the
paying
only
attention to this
woman
shit.
in the
Dude.
ISB that we really see too. So it's
Mhm.
she's kind of made to be the underdog, and even Tony
Yep.
Gilroy himself was kind of saying that. Although now we kind of see the darker side of her, and as they said in the quote, like she's a fascist among fascists, really. So
And I've loved from the beginning that the head guy, the older guy, has latched onto her and like really like just wanted to see her potential. Like he doesn't
Mhm.
care about anything other than how far is this officer willing to go to get to the truth. And it's definitely going to set her above everybody else.
Yeah.
I kind of hope she figures it out. And I hope that Cyril somehow helps. I really want that homie to be redeemed.
This guy is he's gonna come back into this show in a big way because we took a break from him, right? We didn't see him in this episode, and actually we only saw him for what, like a quick second in the one before.
I got a crazy theory. I want to say it before it happens in one of the episodes.
Let's do it.
I think he's gonna find Andor, and he will be like moments away from being convinced that he's gonna bring him in, and Andor will end up killing him. I think. I think he's gonna be at the peak of his goal, like I got you, and then like it just a tragic end for him too. I think would be fitting, but at least he would feel proud that like he knew it was him the whole damn time, caught him in theory.
Okay, so let's talk about Tony for a second. Let's talk about Tony Gilroy, because I read a thing today that said that the crew, the set designing crew, are the ones that snuck the Star Killer armor in the background that he didn't even know about. So is this just a red herring? Is this him playing the shit you got me game? Or is this him telling the truth, saying, look, I wish I was that smart, but this is my crew going, hey, grab that Star Killer armor. Dust that shit off. Come on, throw it in.
I mean, the fact
I'm gonna lose my shit.
Here's the thing, though. That armor was not in anything other than a game, so that had to be made.
For sure. Real quick though, Pablo Hidalgo definitely worked on a lot of this, so it's easily possible that they could have advised with him and just gotten, the set designers, coordinated with him on some of the Easter eggs that he wanted to have in Luthen's shop potentially. But yeah, I mean, maybe it is a red herring and Tony is just trying to throw us off the scent.
They're trying to throw us off the scent. Shit's canon.
Look, here's the thing. I was just saying
bringing it
this
into canon, man.
earlier today.
I don't know how.
Even to my wife, I was like, I don't underestimate their secret keeping ability anymore, because I don't think leaks are leaks by accident.
No, dude, leaks are planned.
Ever since Luke showing up in Mandalorian, I'm like, you know what? You guys are you're the best secret keepers of all time.
They are the rope-a-dope leaders right now. I don't care. Marvel, DC, all of y'all are playing, again, you're playing Chinese checkers, right? These guys are so good at rope-a-doping you and saying, look at this shiny leak over here. Meanwhile, Luke is doing stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't put it past him. I don't really think leaks are leaks. I think it's more strategic than that. I think if it was leaks, you'd see more heads rolling.
Yeah. No, it's breadcrumbs.
But yeah, it's breadcrumbs. We want to lure you into the oven. We want to build hype. They know how to build hype.
And then just burn us in the flame.
and then just look.
Right in the forge.
I'm in the process
the
of doing
Jedi
a follow-up
lightsabers.
to a short that I did, and basically, I'm going to give away the bread and butter of it now, but everything they haven't under-delivered at Lucasfilm. They've delivered almost what they said they were going to. How many real cancellations have there been? Rangers of the Republic, because Gina Carano decided she was going to light the place on fire, right? I mean, really, show was centered around her.
Yeah.
She lit the barn on fire and watched it burn.
It was not actually centered around her, but that's fine. Keep going. You're on a roll.
She was there. She was going to be there, right?
Shit, yes.
A lead name going into it. She was there. She was going to be there, right? So
Yeah.
Gina lights the barn on fire, and then it burns.
Season 3, it was gonna be hers, okay?
Yeah. Season 2 and 3, it might have been just her. But then you get, and I'm not just blaming her, I'm blaming the whole process, but that's a pebble of it, right? You take your first Ranger, Marshall, out of the mix, and everybody's like, okay, cool, whatever. But anyway, moving forward, then what? Rogue Squadron, which they tried to put on life support 2 or 3 times, and that thing just died on the table, right? So aside from those two things, what else have they not given us, right? You asked for Kenobi, wasn't maybe what you asked for.
We ain't heard shit about that Ryan Johnson trilogy, have we?
That wasn't on the list.
You know what happened?
The viewed list with Kathleen on the stage saying this is what's coming out. What did they promise you? Visions, got it. Andor, got it. Kenobi, got it. Ahsoka, got it. Acolyte, got it. Lando droids, we'll see. But really, we only lost 2. Rangers, which half the people didn't give a shit about. And I think the biggest one that a lot of people were interested in was Patty Johnson's Rogue Squadron, right? But we only lost 2 of like 10 titles they promised us. So how it may not have been the stories that you wanted.
Well, Obsession. Hold on. They're just kicking the can down the road, bro. Don't you know? They're just kicking the can down the road. They're not canceling anything. They're just moving the field goal.
I mean,
I don't know. You know what? Rogue Squadron got canceled, and then Maverick was like, you know what? We'll do Star Wars.
Yeah, Maverick was like, hold on, we're going to do a direct repeat of the trench run real quick. Hold on. We're going to do the trench run without the Millennium Falcon coming to save the day. But I mean, really, what have they under-delivered? I mean, yeah, they may not have been the stories you wanted. There may be a lot of controversy to what came out. But
I think they are undelivering. I think they're under-delivering on, like, you've announced some stuff. Like, can we get a cast? Can we get a slate?
I think people compound
anything.
The random games that have been announced that weren't even like fully, ready to be announced. Like that was literally a company trying to save itself. That's what that was all about. I mean, you've had so many different things like that and then
that as a failure.
Even I put in the chat, but even with Rangers of the New Republic, I still think that show could still be alive in some form. It might just get adapted into Mandalorian or the Book of Boba season 2 or something.
Well, there's a story to tell there.
Why is Steve in the chat like always saying what I'm thinking? Right? He's always saying what I'm thinking and just putting it out there. Go ahead, Chief. No, done. Okay. What about the Taika movie? Taika's busy.
Yeah.
Taika's busy.
Yeah.
Taika's
one lost, or is it just like I said? They're just.
But these weren't, and what I'm saying is these weren't announced on stage at D23. These weren't. This weren't introduced
through
to
the
stockholders saying this is what's on this plate for phase 1. No, it wasn't on the board. It was Indiana Jones, Willow.
Yes, it was.
We're going We're going before that, bro.
I'm talking about the stuff they announced that we're getting now.
Oh, recent. Yeah.
The stuff we're getting now. So like the Ahsoka stuff, the Acolyte, Andor, right? All that stuff that KK came out and announced on the big stage with it all behind her. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Yes, they've announced movies, the Taika movie, but was it really ever like announced to the shareholders or just like, hey, we're thinking about doing a movie with Taika? I mean, was it announced?
It was at one point when they at one of the things they gave a whole like background thing for it and said that it was going to be all like way back in a different time period kind of thing, and that was really all they said. And then ever since they were like, Taika was probably like, you guys need to chill. Like I got so much on my plate.
Still has to write it. The last I heard, he hasn't even written it, and obviously he's doing all the Thor shit.
Well, but he's got 4 on the table. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the same as Ryan Johnson, right? Everybody's like, "What about the Ryan Johnson trilogy?" That dude's built. That dude is booked through Netflix for like 5 years, maybe 4 now.
That Empire through.
Dude, they threw so much money at him. They threw bricks of money at him.
I want to see
he's gonna make the Knives Out saga.
Dude, the Glass Onion trailer looks wild.
That's what I'm saying. Ryan is booked. His slate is completely lined out. He's not breaking contract with Netflix. What I'm saying is, I don't feel like they've under-delivered content.
No.
You told us you were going to do 10 shows. We got 7. And that's a pretty, I mean, and there's still 2, the droids thing that felt like a kiddie show, and the Lando show, I was kind of like, let's see what happens. But really, so far, they've delivered what they said they were going to give us. We're going to give you Star Wars content. Now, everybody may not like it. It may not be what you would have written. But at the end of the day, it's still good stuff.
Uh-oh, guys, we have a concern. I have to bring this to attention. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, Ozzy, I don't know if you know this, but once you start that set, that's it.
There's no turning back.
There's no
one
way in, one way out.
All right, so we're about an hour in, and Sheev's here, so we're gonna do this this thing that we started doing here, and we're gonna talk about this latest episode of Andor. All right, we're doing the great rate debate. So I want to know what is it?
I hear grape ape.
The great ape debate. You got to say it 3 times fast. That's what really gets it going. Okay, so where do you put this episode on the grand scale of Star Wars? Everybody's complaining, Star Wars, this isn't Star Wars. The show doesn't feel like Star Wars. Kind of feels like Star Wars to me.
It's definitely ramping up.
This episode got my highest rating so far. I'm flying up there, guys. I'm flying up there with a solid 9.5 on this one.
Okay. Scotty, what do you think?
I'm a strong 8 plus. Both the monologues from those 2 guys, Circus and Skarsgård, stole it from me. Bro, I will say that whole bridge elevator opening, I was waiting for Luthen to take out a lightsaber and go, I know what I have to do. I don't know if I have the strength to do it. That shit was too on point for me. That shit was too close to home for me.
The lighting and everything in that elevator was so good, dude.
That
the control of the elevator, right? The whole steady cam walking through the crowd, getting to the elevator in the middle of nowhere, not being followed.
Finding the earpiece like randomly up in the
such a Bourne feel, right?
Yeah.
Him talking all that stuff to him just for him to get out of the elevator and the real conversation to start.
Well, here's the thing. He never got out of the elevator. That's how you know.
You're right. Yeah, he really got out.
Dude was
You're right.
terrified. Yeah. He's like, I'm not getting out of the elevator. Like, I'll push the button. I'm not getting out of the elevator. I'm pushing
He's over here, his other arm.
Right? He didn't even take a step out of the elevator. And when Luthen was done with him, he was like, and I'm done. Get out. Right? Complete control, right? Honestly, this episode was like a solid 10 for me. You don't this was Bourne, right? This had that Bourne feel with the Star Wars, like especially the Emperor anger, right? This was, they're ruthless. And then you have this guy, the rebels who are in complete control of every situation, right? Very seldomly is he surprised. It's just perfect Star Wars here. I mean, honestly, I don't need a lightsaber to make it Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yo, Andor is like the one, bro. When shit was going down and he got up on there, the distraction came, he kicked the guy's leg out, had the gun in his hand, bang, bang, everyone's dead.
He's going to work.
This is my shit now. This is my shit now. I was very impressed. I'm
the captain now.
Since I was 6 years old.
Yes, exactly.
Fighting the fight since I was a little boy.
Right? I mean,
exactly.
That's it. Like he knows how to take people out, right? I mean, look at the first scene. He's in the street, no gun. takes out 2 guys. Now they were pathetic cops, but takes out 2 cops, shoots them
Two
dead
against one. That's still
right. This is what he does. Oh, I don't have any arms. Okay, I gotta handle business, right? And that's the thing is, he's a savage.
Straight up.
Andor's a savage. He knows. He thinks out problems way ahead of time.
Knows when to act. Yeah.
He's paying attention to every angle. From the time he stepped off of that ship, he was like, he's just data logging, data. That's it. Just ingesting data. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, there's an opening. No one else sees an opening. He's like, hey, there's an opening. You need to move knight to king 4 and then take the pawn, and then we're done and we're out of here. And the rest of the guys are like, what's a pawn? Right? He's so many levels ahead of everybody. And that's why he's such a key factor in the rebellion. That's why he gets sent on that mission to get the Death Star plans, right? Like,
to your point, I think, and everybody in the chat is kind of saying it too, I think Luthen is even 10 times that. Like, Andor is ahead of everybody. Luthen's 10 steps ahead of him.
So where do you place Saw Gerrera in that equation?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he meets up with Saw Gerrera, and that builds. See, because what I was saying earlier is that this story is about getting from the Andor we meet in the beginning to the Andor we see die with Jen, right? So he's got to get real fucked up. Yeah. He's got to be put some real messed up. This prison just amplified his hate of the Empire, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward a little bit, who better to go on really crazy missions to screw the Empire than Saw Gerrera? Like, his tactics are right in line with those two.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you put it into the same perspective, how we compare it to these characters, they're playing chess, right? So you got Luthen that's like kind of directing all this and willing to sacrifice the pawns. You got Cassian, who's making these moves that are very direct. He's like, this is where we need to go. We got to do this. But Saw is the bishop that's going to cut diagonal across the board and just mess up.
Saw's the one you don't see coming.
Everyone you don't see him coming.
But he doesn't care. He doesn't care about casualties. He doesn't care about collateral damage. He gives zero shit. He's the one that you should be the most afraid of in the in the rebellion. If Saw Gerrera is assigned to your quadrant,
I agreed until Luthen showed up. And I don't even think Luthen is scarier, but in my opinion, they were saying it like Luthen, this was kind of his breakout episode. We were already starting to see the kind of person that Luthen was the past couple episodes, but having him talk in that elevator scene, we really figured it out who this dude is. Saw Gerrera, he's willing to do whatever it takes. But this dude's the dude behind the scenes making the rebellion happen, and it's not even the way that you would think. He literally is making the Empire so pissed off that people have to do something about it. That's his whole plan. So in a way, Saw Gerrera's, if you're there in front of him, the dude is going to be very much a danger to you, whether you're part of the Empire or not. But Luthen, you don't even have to be in front of him for him to be a danger to you. Him just being around is literally a danger to the entire galaxy.
Well, and I just like that Luthen is a double agent, right? He's playing a great game of being a spy, right? He's kissing the butt of the elite and selling them either expensive knockoffs or some antiquities. How the fuck do you get your hands on? Right? So either he's selling fakes or he's getting his hands on some really juicy stuff.
Bro, how does he get those Temple of Doom stones?
Dude, how did he get
anything he wants?
My thought after this episode, do you guys think this is the first time he's done something like Aldhani? I mean, that's probably the largest scale thing he's done on that level, but he's probably used other people. And that's probably how he's amounted to this wealth to be able to afford these kind of things. That's just my thought.
Our friends are here.
The bots, the
maidens, the maidens are here.
The bots are taking over.
The bots.
Stop everything you're doing.
Luthen has got his hands in everything. He's going to be more deeply routed in things than I think we're even imagining right now, because this guy's been around the block a few times.
Well, and look, everybody's like, Mon Mothma is filler. Mon Mothma's filler. Look, Mon Mothma is a savage in her own right? She's in the belly's beast, right? She is in the Senate, surrounded by everybody hates Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma is the student council president and the hall monitor at the same time. Everybody hates Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
Right? Her husband hates her. Her daughter hates her. Everybody hates her. Right?
And here's something I noticed too, and it kind of made me really, really love her performance in this show even more. Because I went earlier and was just skimming through Rogue One. Just look at her in Rogue One versus how we're seeing her now in Andor. In Rogue One, she is like really run down and ragged compared to what we're getting in Andor right now. It's a night and day difference.
It's only 4 years from now, too.
Yeah. So it's just this, whatever she's about to go through, it's going to do a number on her.
The thing is, she knows she's being followed,
Mm-hmm.
right? She knows she's being followed. She knows that there's spies everywhere. She's playing a great game of chess so far because she hasn't been hemmed up. She's not so well in with, Palpatine and all that. She's a thorn in his paw, and he's itching for a way to get rid of her. The fact that she's playing the game so well under the microscope in the belly of the beast, it's amazing what she's doing, right? And so this show has grabbed everybody from a different perspective. Everybody just thought Mon Mothma was this elite that didn't care about this or that. She was just involved financially or whatever. Come to find out, she's sacrificing.
Yeah.
Everybody hates her. Her marriage is crap. Her relationship with her daughter is crap.
She's sacrificing her entire life.
Really. Almost as much as Luthen is.
I mean,
yep.
Dude, I loved his monologue.
Oh,
me too.
Like when because it had such it just, for me, it had such a Thanos feeling, right? When he gets the Soul Stone and he's talking to Gamora and she's like, "What did it cost?" And he's like, I gotta get it right. He's like, right?
Oh.
That's exactly what it felt like. Like, he's like, what does this cost? What is this costing you? What are you sacrificing? And all he has to say is
everything.
Right? Like, I have no life. I have no girlfriend. I have nothing. I got a shopkeeper. Right?
That dude hates the Empire so much he doesn't even care what happens to the people in the galaxy. It's
Bro,
kind of like Saw.
What we were
The
saying,
whole
like
galaxy.
the fact that he's willing to sacrifice 50, he's like, what is it, 50 men? I don't care.
Yeah.
Great.
I need heroes.
Massacre the whole. Well, I love that shot because he says it to our buddy in the elevator. He's like, I need heroes like you. And then they cut to Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
Right. Like the cut in that moment was brilliant.
Intentional.
And that's just it. Like, I mean, you need an 80s montage for Andor, right? Of I need a hero. That's all we should be doing. So moving forward, look, everybody is state of Star Wars sucks is all I hear across the metaverse, right?
Star Wars isn't what I want it to be. It's supposed to be what I want it to be.
Right? That's the mentality of most Star Wars channels, right? I haven't watched the video. I haven't brought myself to watch the video yet because I'm not sure if it's half clickbait, but like I saw theories, I'm done video with the leaks and I'm like, are you done or are you just clickbaiting? But it's like, if this is all it takes to get you guys off of Star Wars, cool. Like I'm digging this show. I'm digging what they're giving us right now. And if anything, people were screaming for content. What do we have in the mix right now? Andor is here shooting a second season. Acolyte is shooting in the UK right now, cast on set with script. We have Ahsoka in the can or finishing up. That's going into edit. There's all Mando 3. Nobody's talked about Mando 3 in a while because they're giving us too much other shit to talk about.
It's getting
we'll get a new
overshadowed.
trailer. We'll get another trailer for that.
Yeah,
Really? December.
The one that they released. Yeah,
right.
The one that was shown.
So, I mean, where are they really failing? Because Vader and Kenobi had a fight. I lost money on that. Get more mad than me, bro. Right?
I loved it. So to each their own on that one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought Vader pulling Kenobi into fire was fire.
I thought Vader walking down the street choking,
Dude, they pull
Oh,
shit right
people,
from the
breaking
comic
necks,
books, like
Sick
breaking
as
necks
hell.
and cashing checks, walking down the street,
Mm.
just sat with like a savage, like that. That was Vader. That's what I nightmared about Vader when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait a minute, he can just pick me up and start choking me at any time. I'm 5. I'm 5 years old when I see this movie for the first time, and I'm like,
yeah,
wait a
real
minute.
quick.
Go ahead.
Cobra Disney Jedi. I forgot about that. I saw something about a rumored Grogu
Well,
show.
and this
on,
was the last.
apparently,
This was
too.
the last thing. We were just getting into this when you came on, so we'll do it now. Grogu. Apparently, somebody in France, Disney France, accidentally leaked something or sent something to somebody.
Title.
And
like
apparently
Grogu and the Dust Bunnies or some.
Yeah, Grogu and the Dust Bunnies is the working title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, supposedly, okay, you know what? Let's see where it plays in after Mando's done season 3. Let's see how that cards play out when
Bro, those Dust Bunnies better be vaporized stormtroopers or I'm out.
Was it Italy? Or was it France?
Sorry,
I thought it was
back.
France.
Oh, we're on the leak?
One of the two.
Anyway,
Something like that.
One of them European countries over there. One of the European, and I love you all. You're great people. I can't wait to visit your country.
Come back to
the leak, where it came from, Italy.
America.
It came from somebody over there. Look, I'm American. Sorry.
Boppity boopity.
Boppity boppity.
But they leaked out that Grogu may be getting his own movie
with the Dust
short.
It's
like a
Zenmation shorts.
Okay. So look,
I'm expecting like the I Am Groot shit they did.
I was just gonna say that's what I think they're leaning on because
I hope it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
5 minutes of show, 8 minutes of credits. Like, what are we doing here?
Real quick, I doubt it's this, but I think this is probably for Visions. But Studio Ghibli, I think I said that right. Ghibli.
Yep.
They posted a tweet today about them potentially being with a Star Wars project, which is super freaking exciting. So
we talked about that earlier. So then, do you know who Princess Mononoke is? From the Ghibli. You need to go watch that. It's called Princess Mononoke. You got to find it.
I'll definitely have to go watch that.
Yeah, you got to see the sequel too. It was called Kamana Wana Leia.
I know that their studio makes some fantastic anime, so I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
And then
you don't recognize the character. You should anyway.
I probably will. And then you guys talked about Sean Levy. I take it.
No, what was that one?
No, what did we miss on Sean Levy?
Okay, this one I thought was even maybe bigger than the Ghibli thing. Although I'm super excited for the Ghibli thing. Sean Levy's the dude that did Free Guy, the director. He did Free Guy. He did
Stranger Things stuff. He did
Stranger Things. He also did not Free Guy, but the other one. What's it called? With Ryan Reynolds too.
Oh, it's on
Netflix.
The Netflix one. Yeah.
The name of it. Are you talking about the one where he goes back in time?
Yeah.
Adam
or goes in Adam, the Adam Project. So Adam Project, Free Guy, and he's done Stranger Things episodes as well. It turns out that he is he's going to be directing Deadpool 3 apparently with Ryan Reynolds, of course.
No doubt.
B, he's going to be doing the finale of Stranger Things, and C, he's rumored to be directing a Star Wars movie.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, but again, that's not going to be until 2025.
I know, but I know.
We were
He's
talking
the one
about going to do the next Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
we were talking about all the projects that haven't come out and everything. But I think this one could be real, especially because the dude's already done 2 projects where he's done wannabe lightsabers.
Yeah,
I mean, what are the chances he brings Ryan Reynolds into Star Wars too? The fact,
Yo, Obsession, tell the cat. He'll know what it means.
She just. Has to be in it today, don't you?
Sheev.
What's your thoughts on all this? Which side of the force does she lean on?
Do you know this character, Sheev?
Oh, there she is.
This is who Dave Filoni designed Ahsoka after, and it's a Studio Ghibli project. That's why it's so hype. So you should find the movie. It's this Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, I want to check this out.
If you're gonna watch any of the Ghibli projects as a Star Wars fan, in my opinion, you want to find.
I
this
gotta
one.
check that out then. All right,
It's
I've
phenomenal.
definitely heard of it.
These wolves, bro, they talk just like that.
Oh, no wonder
Ezra.
Dave loves it.
Just like Ezra, bro. Yes, they are the Lothal wolves.
Oh,
I promise.
dude, Obsession's got to do
It's
the Loth
amazing.
Wolf voice with his voice changer.
Oh,
God.
okay.
Please.
You have to watch.
Doom. Oh my god, it's so perfect.
So close,
That's
right?
great. All right.
Jeez, Nerd Mafia.
I'm glad I got
God.
you guys to talk about that with me because I was excited to
Oh
see
my
those
goodness.
Wow.
two. Wow.
Wow, we're getting out of control.
Oh, wait, hold on a sec. I got to ask Obsession this. I'm so sorry. It's way off on a tangent, but we're on cats.
Tee it up.
Did you watch Quantum Leap and catch the
Oh.
epic cat joke?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna...
Oh yeah. Good.
Sorry.
Good cats. Good catch. Yeah, I mean,
no.
it's well, we're geeking out on the new Quantum Leap like crazy because it's
Fair
actually
enough.
really good. Yeah, I mean, this whole slate of Star Wars is really good. I mean, everything that they're giving us is you know, at least they're delivering. Right? The cancellation rate is really low. And with these new projects, right? I want to see more anime. I like the anime stuff from Visions. I want to see, you know, more Dave story. It's important. So yeah, I mean, this is all good, man. This is all thumbs up. I don't understand how everybody is so down on Star Wars right now. I do like that, and we're going to transition a little bit. I do like that they put Kathleen in a box, and we're just kind of like, hey, enough.
I'm
Just-
okay with it too. I'm
just
okay with it.
stop. Like
That's
it,
fine.
I
I
think that
don't.
was the right call too, because even me, as just a nobody, just hearing about this stuff, you know, over the internet, it was like, I feel like you guys are just kind of spewing way too much out there. Like you're just firing off things that you're banking. I'm like, how are you going to get
Okay.
all of these projects done?
So look, here's the thing, and this is something that is very hard to do as a person with work. When you get promoted or you get to a position that is different from where you started and where you cut your teeth, it is hard to step away from that position. It is hard to not go back to your old ways. You look like a saint, Matt Cave, when you're centered under there. You look like a saint.
Oh, is that what I'm?
Oh yes.
Right.
Yeah. Saint Matt Cave.
Anyway, so you know, it's hard to step away from your from what you did before when you go to these new positions. Kathleen is now an executive. She is now the CEO of a company, and she needs to stop trying to wear her producing hat. Right? That hat is retired. It no longer holds any value to anybody. So be a CEO, make the shareholders money, approve things from the people you've assigned to do them. And I feel like that's what that quieting Kathleen, you know, is really about, right? I mean, that's what they were telling her is like, hey, let us announce stuff. Let us tell it when we're ready, not because you have a wild hair up your butt and you want to announce something that you're excited about. That's not your job anymore. Your job is to make shareholders happy and to make the company money. Let the storytellers tell the stories.
And you know that as soon as a thing is announced, every single other thing that person's attached to leading up to that thing, they're going to ask them questions about that thing. They don't want to do that to people. They don't want them to go into interviews and just get asked about their Star Wars projects.
Thank you,
Yeah.
son.
So I mean, look, it's a troubling. Like I said, I think it's great that they put her, you know, kind of put her on the shelf and said, look, you're a CEO now. Be a CEO. Don't be a micromanaging CEO. Let us do what we do. Let us make you money. Let us make them money. And that's an important conversation that needed to be had, because I feel like all of the disappointing stuff and all of the stuff that doesn't come to fruition, a lot of it has to do with what she promises and the direction that she was kind of looking at.
Cobra Disney Jedi.
No, I'm reading the one above that, but
chilling in the basement is Nerd Mafia's burner account. Confirmed.
Excellent. I mean, yeah. There's about 200 people working.
There you go. See,
there you go.
200 versus 2.
And look, I mean, look, the real issue is expectation.
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, you're expecting them to do what you want and the stories that you want to tell, and that doesn't always happen. So, I mean, I get it. I understand, but that's just you're just in for the ride. You're on a roller coaster, man. You're on Dave's coaster right now.
Yeah.
So sit on Dave's coaster and let him take you for a ride, and it'll be fun. And that's really
fun ride, man.
Yeah,
it just hop on. It's enjoyable. I gotta go because I'm just coming in to pop on and say hey everybody and chill with you guys. But before I do go, personally, I think the state of Star Wars is in a good place right now with Andor. I think a lot of people are hopping in. It's kind of like what I thought. I thought the beginning would be a little bit slow in terms of audience engagement. If you look at the numbers, it wasn't even as slow as we originally had thought it was in the beginning. It's picking up steam even more now with just 2 episodes left, and it's been a freaking fantastic show. From what I've seen on Twitter and most of the space, I don't even see any negativity to your guys' point. Darth Maximus saying 200 people, only 2 of them have complained about current Star Wars. I'm not saying people aren't complaining about current Star Wars because that happens on a daily basis. But if you're talking about the state of the Star Wars fandom right now, I say we're winning, and I'm enjoying the win. I'm enjoying the ride. So thanks for having me again, Obsession, and much love to you, boys.
Thank you guys for hanging out, dude. We appreciate you.
Well, I don't think that was as good as Luthen's speech or
no,
but much love though, guys.
We're gonna give him a round.
You're welcome among these shills anytime.
Yeah, dude. Come back always, dude. Like we like having you. We like the companions coming in and compatriots and hanging out with us. But yeah, dude, let's catch up soon. We got some stuff to talk about.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right.
Be safe.
Much love, Obsession. Peace out, chat. Hope you guys have a good one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's down to I mean, what we're 2 episodes away from the finale, so we're 2 weeks away, which is unfortunate because I could watch this shit all year. I think they should go back to the old ways of making TV and just let this run all year long. Don't stop writing stories until we're tired of it. But I mean, this is going to have us clamoring for Bad Batch in January because I don't think there's any more Star Wars for the year, right? I think this is it.
This is it for the year, as far as I understand, because anything that was supposed to happen in December got pushed back.
Right.
So yeah, January, Bad Batch. Yeah, that's going to be.
Yeah, January is Bad Batch, and then I think after that is Ahsoka. After Bad Batch, so we could see some Thrawn, some early 7th Fleet in Bad Batch, right? To handle the rebellious clones. So there's a lot in the air. There's a lot of plates spinning. I feel, like I said, I agree with Sheev. I think the state of Star Wars is a win right now. I think there's a couple, Book of Boba wasn't great. Wasn't perfect. Kenobi has a 50-50 split in the fandom. But ultimately, I can't think of anybody that's too terribly unhappy.
I think one of the most fascinating things one of the most fascinating things in Andor as well is, and talking about like possibility of seeing Thrawn or even a mention, because I think it would be more of a mention rather than seeing him.
Right.
Think about those ISB meetings, those roundtable meetings. What most people kind of will just not even fully paying attention as they come into the scene and they're already talking about something. This project here, that job over there. Those are all referencing stuff that is out there and people will pick up on and recognize. I've been watching this show with subtitles. I don't know about you guys, but I watch it with subtitles because I want to catch all the little things they're talking about. But that's where I feel like it's going to be. There's going to be like an ISB meeting and they're going to talk about the TIE Advance. They're going to talk about Thrawn's
Starlight.
What was the name of his Star Destroyer? Something with an A, I think.
I can't think of it.
But that could be a name drop in itself. Don't even say Thrawn. Say the name of his Star Destroyer, or that thing shows up above wherever they're at.
I just say it shows up and just show us the graphics, right? Because the bottom of his Star Destroyer is totally graphicked out. He had a graffiti artist come in and tag the shit out of it, and it looks way different than anybody else's. He's not rocking the Chimera. That's
it is. Yeah, it is the Chimera.
Okay, there you go.
I think. Yeah, he's right.
You were wrong.
See, there was an A in it. I didn't say it was at the start.
It was at the end if you do it backwards. But look, I think
sympathizer than you.
I think there's a lot of room for more tales. I would love to see Shakti. I just watched the extended the deleted scene of Shakti getting killed by Grievous. I would love to see more tales of the Jedi. It would be great. Do tales. Yeah. Do tales of the Jedi with Grogu, right? If you're going to give us that kind of animated short, give us a story arc, you know? But I think there's a lot more room for more tales of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Next year, January is going to start off Star Wars with a bang. We're going to get Bad Batch, Mando, and then Ahsoka within the first quarter. So it's coming a long way, dude. Asajj and Quinlan. Yeah, dude, there's so many stories. There's so many stories that they could tell with tales, with movies, with shows. And this is the great thing. This is like phase 1. Right? This isn't even like Marvel. Marvel's having a hard time because they've already gone through 4 or 5 phases. And they've burned themselves out a little bit. So now they're just telling weird ass stories. Right?
They're just working their way through Disney Plus.
That's it. They're just twerking their way through Disney Plus. They're Ferris Bueller twerking their way through the entire thing. They're changing the story in the middle of episodes. I lost me, right? Whatever. Cool. But Star Wars, this is like Star Wars is phase 1, right? This is, unfortunately there weren't movies like Iron Man and Captain America that get us into this, but that's what all these small shows are. Mando, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, right? That Book of Boba Fett's just going to boomerang back into Mando and explain itself, and then you're all going to be like, well, now it makes sense.
Yeah, I hope they do more for Boba Fett, and I think they will, only because like they're listening to fans, man. Despite what you think as like other people may be trying to tell you all the time, if you pay attention, the shit's getting better. Andor is miles above where even in my opinion Kenobi was, as far as the writing and even the set designs, and you can tell the passion that they're actually putting into creating this thing. They're not just throwing a screen behind it and letting people act in front of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're going to learn lessons. It's unfortunate that those 2 shows had to learn a lesson about the volume.
Well, not just the volume, but about complete.
I think that was a big factor.
About maybe putting too many pearls in one basket, right? I mean, there's some stuff we could have gone without in Book of Boba. I don't disagree with. Look, after Finnick comes back, I don't disagree with having modders, right? But was it a necessity to throw that pearl in at that moment in that way? Not necessarily, right? There were story mistakes that could have been avoided. Whatever. All that aside, I do feel like that show is going to boomerang back into Mando when he shows up in Mando, and they're like, "I thought you were running in town." He's like, "Somebody made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I sold it." Right? Whatever the case is, he's going to show back up. This is first phase. Look, this first phase for a decade. I don't really consider the sequel trilogy a phase 1 of. A continuation of phase 1. That was its own separate project on its own separate leash at a totally different time. Yep. This feels like more of a phase. This isn't just a trilogy.
The start of the show's coming out, right?
An explanation of characters and where they started. Where Din Djarin started, how Bo-Katan survived, where Ahsoka's been. These are all big stories that we need to suss out. Where Ezra is. These are all stories that they've been building for a decade. Yeah, since Rebels, 7 years. Since the end of Rebels. So yeah, they've been building this stuff for a while, but it's finally coming. We're starting to bear fruit finally. If you play Fortnite, you planted your tree, you pluck a couple weeds, we're finally getting to like the purple and gold era
There we
of,
are.
Yeah.
of what we're getting to,
I
right?
agree.
This stuff is getting really good, or they finally found their groove, right?
Yeah.
It's really starting to ignite people's excitement.
And Donna, you're not
Well-
alone. We love Bad Batch around these parts.
No, dude, look, I love Bad Batch. Honestly, I was on the Bad Batch hype train way early, right? Because that is like you're getting Kanan, you're getting Hera, then you give us Kanan watching Ahsoka in this tail stuff, and just a little pearl back there, but it was perfectly placed, and that's what I'm saying. I think they finally starting to figure out you don't have to throw everything in at once, right?
Well, what they're seeing also is positive reactions from a majority of the people who didn't have positive reactions to the other stuff. They're tracking that shit.
Hey, Matt, I
So
didn't know you
all of
smelled
that.
like good cheese.
Hey, you know,
Hey, what kind
I
of
do
cheese
my-
do you guys like? I heard this was a question gets asked on the internet on Super Chat. What kind of cheese does everybody like?
I'm a provolone Munster kind of person.
I'm
Like
a
nice provolone.
craft singles kind of guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god, stop it.
You know, I
I need
want
a
that.
cheese
I
that
want that
tastes like
plastic
cheese.
aftertaste.
I'm a Velveeta guy myself. So if it ain't Velveeta, forget about it. If you don't put a
Chad,
lot
never ask this question again.
if you don't like Velveeta with some broccolis, you
Oh
forget
my
about
God.
it. But
I
look,
got Chester over here and oh Jesus. Cheeto man down below me. Like, what is this? What was that question?
perfect. Oh, am I making you sleepy? Yeah, so it's
I
look,
think
it's,
Mario would know something about
yeah,
cheese.
for real, Mario.
Let's go.
Yeah, bit of mozzarella. But yeah, I think Star Wars is doing right now. I think they had a bumpy year to start. Maybe the year didn't pop off. But I mean, obviously viewership has been decent. They're not pulling the plug on a lot of this stuff, but I think at the end of the year they're really following through and making the end of the year pop. And I'm looking forward to the finale because what are they going to do? Right? Like where does this last 2 episodes put us? Right?
Well, there is something from the trailer we have not seen yet.
I haven't watched the trailer.
Oh, so then I'm not going to say what it is.
No, let's watch it. Somebody pull it up. Let's watch it. I'm not a dude,
Nikes.
Kenobi's
Okay.
over.
It's your
Kenobi's
stream.
over,
I'm
baby. I
done.
don't
I
care
did my
about
job
spoilers
earlier.
and trailers.
I didn't want to spoil anything, but hold on a second.
What did I say when Kenobi was over? I'm even going to do it.
I'm spoiling everything.
All right, let me make sure this is the one. Give me one moment. Or do not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Let's spoil everything.
It's got to be this
That's
trailer.
the point. If you didn't grow up in the 80s and 90s when parents didn't understand health food, right? When it was like, oh, it's packaged, it's delicious. That's all they cared about in the 80s. They didn't care about how many calories it had,
Kraft over
fat,
Velveeta.
all of that stuff. Forget about it. It was like, we're gonna put this in some broccoli and you're gonna eat it, and that was the end of it. I'm not joking.
Gonna put this in some broccoli.
I'm not even kidding. Velveeta and broccoli is probably one of my listen, the best chili, the best chili con queso, which is just chili cheese that has ever made, is made with Velveeta. It's disgusting. It clogs up your arteries. It is disgusting for you, but it's freaking delicious.
That's hilarious. All right, hold on a second.
Come on, let's go.
I'm bringing
it.
it.
Nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Nacho
All right, here, you
cheese.
know what?
I think
gonna
this
do that.
was the one. I don't know. I was just skimming real quick, but let me know if you guys hear this.
Yep, I hear it.
We got a first timer over here.
Should I like pause it here and there? All right, so it's okay. Hold on.
Wait,
We saw this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because this was on. That's Cinta, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes.
She's
No?
watching over Graham.
Okay.
She stayed behind to babysit Graham.
All right, I'm gonna chill on this pause button right here.
I love this beat.
To steal from the
Great
Empire.
shot right there.
Saw that.
You just walk in like you belong. They're so proud of themselves. So fat and satisfied.
Yep, saw it.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't imagine that someone like me would ever get inside their house.
This is the
Okay.
original trailer, right?
I believe this is the first
Empire's
trailer.
choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice.
Okay, we saw Bix get caught. We saw
We
the
didn't see
scrapyard.
Deidre there.
Wouldn't you rather give it all?
We haven't seen Deidre with the black stormtroopers, have we?
That I don't think so. I don't think
She
we saw
goes
her
back to Ferrix, bro.
We did. We
site.
saw that. We saw that.
Heroes I can get.
We saw,
For the
yeah.
greater good.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
Saw
so
Carrera.
We
this
saw
was though all these guys who. This is at Saw's place,
That's at Saul's joint. Yeah.
but I think is
Is
this
this when
a
he goes
different
back, you think?
scene than when we saw him? I'm thinking he goes back.
Hmm,
I don't remember everybody pulling out a weapon on him.
Okay. Okay.
you're right.
For the greater
Maybe.
good. Call it what you will. Let's call it war.
Yeah, because that's where they make their agreement.
Look at these drop
It's
ships.
fermenting out there, son.
Yep.
Pockets.
We
of
didn't see
fermenting.
that under the
No, we
sewers.
didn't. Oh no, those were go back because those were the prison. Those
Mhm.
guys coming in. That was those guys coming in.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
down here, we saw
with
this.
Zero. Those are
I do want to go back a little bit for this.
those are the guards.
Yeah, we
coming
saw that.
in.
That
This is the big
when
fight
they-
on Ferrix.
That was when they captured Biggs. I thought.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So we got all the guys with the
He
riot
wa- he
shields
walks
here.
through- doesn't he walk through those crowds to her or something like that?
Something. Yeah, you're right. I got charged through.
It's fermenting out there, son. Pockets of fermenting. You're in my net.
Love that shuttlecraft. What are they looking at right there?
That's Aldani, isn't it?
Here's another ISB agent right here. Is this
Yeah.
the facility on Coruscant?
No.
No, we already tried to
thought- isn't
speculate
that-
about this.
that's
with,
fair. I thought that was
Santa.
fair.
Thought it was Lothal.
I thought that was Ferrix. I thought that's when they went in to.
Yeah. Oh my
to
god,
take
could you imagine if this is Lothal? That'd be insane. Because you know what she reminds me of? You remember the governor on Lothal that Thrawn ends up kind of forcing to work for him? She had the dark black hair, the dark
Mhm.
straight black hair.
Mhm.
Not sure. That's that apartment building though. That one homie wanted to turn into like his castle.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Are you a fish? Or are you a thief? You're slipping.
Well, there's much from here we haven't seen.
I've just been hiding for too long.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah, we haven't seen this.
That
yet.
we haven't seen for
That
sure.
we have. Oh, but it didn't do it.
As long as everyone thinks I'm an irritation, there's a good chance they'll miss what I'm really doing.
What are you really doing?
Oh, Dark Troopers.
This is what revolution looks like.
I'm tired of losing.
Oh, it's got to be here.
What are you looking for?
Everything there we've seen so far, right?
Oh
Well,
man.
my
So you
friend-
know what? Okay. There had to have been another trailer because
Yeah.
that one shot where we saw Luthen's ship coming in and spinning, there's something else that happens in that moment.
We'll find it.
I know, where is it?
Not in this trailer.
It's not there. All right, let me unshare for a minute while I find this.
Do some homework, would you? Jeez.
But yeah, right. Oh, I think I found it. Hold on a second.
Well, yeah. I mean, the great thing is, I mean, most of that we already saw, right?
Yes.
Chat's got me intrigued.
About what?
The grenade, the spinning beam laser thing. What are
Right.
you guys talking about? What
Oh,
is
you don't
it?
know either?
No.
Oh my god. All right,
Nope.
I'm going to throw a hint out there. What is Luthen's ship powered by?
Kyber.
Kyber.
And
Is
what
that
does
confirmed? They
Kyber
confirmed that?
produce?
I know. I mean, I've seen it.
Are we getting lightsabers? What are you talking about?
Well, he's talking about the
We getting Death
lightsaber.
Star beams?
That's the lightsaber side.
Are
The
they
ship.
firing
Okay,
off
so you
Death
do know.
Stars?
Okay. That we haven't seen yet.
No, I expect to see that. I expect to see that at the end.
That's what I'm looking for. Is it's okay? So you did see that. I didn't want to like.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
flat out
Cassian,
say it.
Cassian mentions that also. Cassian mentions
Mhm.
that he when he first powers up the ship, he notices something's different. He's like, what is your power supply? What is this ship powered by? And then it kicks him in the ass when it hits it's so fast and that's why it's powered by Kyber. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a Death Star before the Death Star was really a thing.
Yeah, I need to see this.
Yeah, where that I don't want to pull up
thought
like
it was in
somebody
that
else's.
initial trailer.
I thought it was in that initial trailer too, but I feel like it like
What
did
is what are
just
we
get
what did
pulled
we
out?
see? Like I still
Red-
am still
red
in the dark.
Red sabers, Luthen's ship is flying. Red
Mhm.
sabers come out of the side, and then he turns and destroys 2 TIE fighters while he's escaping.
Lightsabers.
That
Like
basically,
red-
yeah, like
red
red.
lightsabers?
Basically, it comes out. It's not blasters. It's basically lightsabers
Oh,
that
it's-
come out of the side of the ship.
It's powered by the Schwartz.
The Schwartz,
It's bigger than yours.
liquid Schwartz.
Liquid Schwartz. It's the second trailer.
Thanks, yogurt.
I love
Mm.
yogurt.
Uh,
One of my favorites. Mel Brooks is
yogurt. I hate yogurt, even with strawberries.
It's reds because he's got inquisitors.
I mean, this would be a cool take. If-
Doesn't make
if-
sense.
Urso had a design in this ship. This would be 5
that would
years.
be interesting.
Matt,
but
I'm
he
gonna
would-
look up this trailer.
He would be at I mean, Urso would already be designing the Death Star at this point.
I found it. I'm coming back in.
Flying in hot,
Flying in hot.
coming in hot.
Got lightsabers on board.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Yo.
Let's pull that back.
He's
I'm gonna go at
He's
short
Shut
speed.
the front door.
he's escaping from
Where's the speed thingy? Oh, there
Right
it is.
there.
I go half.
We're going up here, right? This direction.
Yeah.
Lower is slower.
You can just kill the. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa! Look, he takes out 2 TIE fighters right there.
But look, here's look what's behind him. Where is he?
Yeah. What ship is that? Is that the Chimera?
No. That is just a communication ship. Look at the satellites.
Yeah. It's just got massive satellites off it.
Right.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so we've got
But look at the front of it. The
It's
front of it looks
destroyed.
like it's exploding.
Massive dish.
so are we thinking he
Or is that a
hit
massive
this?
dish? Yeah, I'm thinking he hit
The
that
front
on
of it's
the way
a dish
out.
too, but yeah, it's definitely
There's debris
shattering.
over here.
Right.
Yeah, that's coming off. That's definitely cut
Yeah,
off. right there.
it's definitely the entire ship is powered by Kyber, no doubt, because he's got a Kyber crystal that's just chilling around his neck.
Mhm.
So the ship is definitely powered by Kyber.
He's something different, bro.
The only thing
He's
that
no muggle.
No, he's no muggle.
muggle. Dude.
I'm
No.
telling you. There's
Uh,
something about this dude.
The only thing that I can really think of is that here, and I gotta switch myself. Is that ship, if it was designed by Urso, then it was designed way long time ago, right?
Mhm.
So he's had that in his possession for quite a long time, because when his kid was, we saw that in Rogue One, right? They took him, they killed the wife, the daughter's on the run. That was years ago. Because what? They're 5 years away from the episode, the events of Rogue One.
Right there.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
this is coming out like right from the wings.
Well, there are no wings, but yes.
Oh,
those-
but you know what I mean. Like,
I mean, blasters are
But
red
what-
too, so
why
I'm not
would-
really trying to associate this with like Sith Kyber, but
these aren't blasted. Look, they're staying in a straight line.
right.
It's staying
for
solid.
sure. Yeah, for sure. But
I mean,
Oh.
it seems like that ship is very ahead of its time, and maybe that ship is what they take to Urso to build. You know what I mean? Maybe that ship is one of a kind.
Mm. I mean, we know
man,
that
they're gonna expose to us the origins of that technology.
That's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
the super beam weapon technology, because
Yeah.
that's the only thing that this time frame of the entirety of the human existence, like this peak of technology, is now this basically.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, what technology doesn't get stolen by other people and made into bigger weaponry, right? I mean, that's just a fact of every science fiction show we've ever seen. So that, to me, this seems like this could be a precursor to the Death Star. Like they were working on the construction of the Death Star, and Palpatine had all these grand ideas, but it took how long did it take him? But it took him 19 years to fully implement that plan?
Yeah, because before the Clone Wars or right as the Clone Wars are starting, the Geonosians were already working on the plans of the Death Star.
But 22 years, but who's to say? I mean, the technology wasn't worked out to power the laser, right? Yes, the moon base for sure, right? Or the base for sure, the space station for sure, but not necessarily the weapon system. Maybe this is how the weapon system gets introduced to it, right? Maybe that was always a grand aspiration of Palpatine, but no one could figure it out. They capture this guy and his ship at the end of Andor, and all of a sudden you've got Death Star technology.
I wonder though, because it is a quick shot in a trailer, if that is going to be like a continual blade or if it's more like that Sonic. So it's just a slow burn, but it
looks like it's a slow burn. Yeah.
And the fact that it actually rotates with the ship is the other thing that's like,
see how it extends like a lightsaber.
Double-bladed lightsaber on a ship. Jesus.
Look at this.
Where's the Megazord? He's just gonna come grab it and start wielding it. Oh my
god, he takes that.
That is pretty badass, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this.
I'm curious how they're going to implement this. I mean, obviously, that doesn't look like Coruscant.
No, this is not Coruscant.
Right under the belly of that ship and just.
But maybe this is on his way out from Saul Guerrera's, and he takes out all of this on his way out to help them get away.
Ozzy was making a good point. Like, is this powered by those Rakatan kyber crystals? Like he gave
is this Rakatan technology?
Well, so think about that. So I'm glad you said that, because this ship design, is very Old Republic.
The name.
Right, very Old Republic. They've already said the Rakatan Empire.
Yes, Luthen has literally said it.
Yeah.
Could this be that's why he's got so much Rakatan kyber, and this is maybe one of the only ships that has this technology? You know what I mean? Like, Palps may have had this all thought out and figured out, but maybe there's something about this ship. There's something about this dude. He's got too much
about this dude.
He's got too much, man.
He knows too much.
He knows everything. How does he know everything and never gets hemmed up?
Let me pull this up. Kind of looks like, if I remember the ship correctly, it looks a little like the Rogue Shadow from Force Unleashed.
They named it. I don't remember.
Bro, if we get another Force Unleashed,
dude, right? But that's the thing is that this could be the time where we get a lot of those stories.
It's got like TIE bomber vibes too, from the wings on the side and the way they're elongated down.
Well, and I mean, think about it. We've got the KOTOR, right? We've got the Rakatan Empire and KOTOR. It's great that they're bringing this stuff out. It's just, I'm curious how if they're going to explain everything, or if it's just going to be left out there for us to interpret. You know,
dude, what I mean? I think this honestly would be, with the mention of the Rakatan Empire, this ship design. This is this very small gateway into the Old Republic. It's a flat out recognition that, hey, this shit's canon. Like, we're aware of it.
Right. Well, and that's just it, is that there is to take the EU and all of the old stuff that they kind of recanted out, they kind of took out of the canon, to bring it in and recanonize it in a different way. I think that's been the best move, because everybody was so upset that Disney was getting rid of the EU, getting rid of Legends, but they've been pulling some amazing stories out of that content.
So Deidre's discovered the communications tower on Ferrix, and they fly this ship in to intercept any other potential incoming, because the rebels still know that is a holdup. that word probably is not going to, like, Empire discovers that, and then Empire shuts it down.
Right.
Nobody gets off world, nobody knows about it, and then they open it back up. And now they're gonna either brainwash Bix or get someone else to continue that communication so that they can find other rebel cells. I think this massive communication ship is just there to interrupt literally everything they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And that's why he has to destroy it.
Well, and
it's like it's going to be a showstopper, basically.
Yeah.
Well, this is him getting his hands dirty.
Yeah.
And he sends everybody else to do everything. This is his time to bring out his ship and throw, show the Empire that there is a rebellion here, right? I mean, this is basically gonna show the Empire, here's the rebellion, they're here and they're not messing around, right? So, I mean, to me, it seems like this is, darn it, I did it again because the screen have eyeline issues. But yeah, I mean, this is the, this is what he wants. He wants open war. Luthen wants war, right? He wants to show the Empire and how ruthless they really are.
And what better to.
Right.
Yeah, they want the overreaction.
Right. And that's why Luthen is so ruthless. He's like, let him slaughter that whole cell, that 50 men, let him, because that's just going to amp everybody else up. Right. So, I mean, the show's amazing. It's doing a really good job. I don't care if it's live action or animated Grogu story, ship it, make it. And we got 2 more weeks. So I want to do this 2 more times before the end of the year. And then on from there, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I definitely want to get you guys and the other people here, and let's talk about this. Let's do after action. Let's talk about what is coming and what we saw, because why not?
Yeah, because they're ramping up right now too.
Oh yeah,
they're ramping up all the productions, wrapping up on stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, Ahsoka's in edit or finishing up with pickups, right? We've got the Bad Batch in the can coming out early next year. Mando's in the can, they're in the edit. Acolyte's shooting, right? There's so much out there.
Skeleton Crew, I'm sure, is well on its way.
Skeleton Crew, and then if they're talking, rumors were milling back when Mando was out about a potential Bo-Katan show. I would love to see Katie Sackhoff give us a background to what happened to Bo-Katan when the Empire took over, how she lost the Darksaber, right? I would love.
I would love to see even some flashbacks with her and see live action Satine.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
see her sister.
Do a Kenobi flashback to that scene.
Shit. Yeah, bring Ewan back one more time. Hell yeah,
they'll do it. I mean, and that's the great thing about it is what a great time to be able to, okay, we're getting Bo-Katan and Mando. How about a Bo-Katan show? Show us what happened. Show us what made her who she is. Show us all of this stuff. I think it's just good storytelling. And who wouldn't want to watch Katie Sackhoff for 6 to 8 episodes just kicking ass in some Mando armor?
Yep.
So I think she's a lot of room.
Spooky in this next season. I think,
dude, she's gonna get dark, man. I honestly think that she's gonna gut somebody for that Darksaber by the end of this thing. If she's still alive when all the chips are down, she's gonna stab somebody right here, and she's gonna take that Darksaber for herself because she's angry, girl.
You know what I think would be amazing, because this was a little homage, that just naming that character, but Satine and being a love interest of Kenobi, this was done on purpose as an homage to Moulin Rouge. This was Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. It was him and Satine. If they bring her into live action and don't bring the two of them back together on screen for this, I would Nicole Kidman as Satine live action.
Oh, that would be bitching.
100%. And bring Ewan back. Dude,
that would be badass.
That would be awesome.
I'm very curious. I'm looking forward to Mando season 3. That's the one that's bringing the whole universe together. Everything else is, Ahsoka, obviously that's a big show, but the Bad Batch stuff, I love the Order 66 stuff they're giving us right now.
Yes.
Right. The same thing in Kenobi. I feel like they could have.
Nicole Kidman's not real. She can't hurt you.
Now I want it even more.
It seems like we're at a point now where Star Wars had a good year. I've been saying all year, this is a year of Star Wars. Yeah, okay, they might have fumbled the ball on the 5-yard line with Boba. Kenobi is a toss-up, coin toss, but everything else they've been giving us right now has just been great. I'm looking forward to Bad Batch. I love the first animation. I love the first story. I'm looking forward to seeing Rex with the rebels and building that rebellion, showing us that story of how the rebellion really got out there. So there's a lot to be happy about. I don't understand the dislike for Star Wars right now in the metaverse, but as far as a couple of the guys were saying, in the real world, people are loving this stuff right now.
Yeah. It's definitely, I think there's plenty of people that are still riding the let's hate Star Wars hype train, because that's always going to be a thing. But the bigger hype train is the positive side of it right now. We're in a good place, and we are getting good storytelling, and we're getting what everyone really was asking for, what I think we need. So I think we're in a great spot. I don't think it's going to dip. I think we're going to keep this ride for quite a while. I mean, I'm talking years. I think we're in a really good zone here. They've learned from past mistakes. I have to give them credit for that. They truly have. I mean, especially you look at these articles that are coming out with interviews with people talking about this, that, and the other thing of, this happened during that production and whatnot. But it's like, you know what? That's all well and good. And if you're willing to come out and divulge that information, great. But as long as you're learning from this and you're making a better product, you're making a better story, and you're giving fans truly what they want, I don't care what happened behind the scenes.
Well, and here's the thing I've been saying for a while: stop making actors executive producers. Right? This is something that's bothered me for a long time. Unless you're taking over a franchise like Vin Diesel did with the Fast and the Furious, right? Unless you're literally going to take the franchise over and direct the story all the way through, that's one thing. I love Ewan. I love him as an actor. I love him in all the things he does. Sea otters is one of my favorite things. But I think this is a big issue in Hollywood. Pay him more if that's what it takes. But I'm tired of seeing actors executive produce, even somebody like Ewan that knows Kenobi, that knows the character, that was a part of their youth. I still feel like directors should direct, executives should do executive producer stuff, and actors should act. And this is a case where I think the executive producer being a cast member could have been a downfall. I think there's just too much control. The actors are there to act unless you're writing the story. You're there to act. Don't make decisions that skew the story. Let the storytellers tell their story without interference from an actor that they're afraid to speak up to, because you're the title character, right? No one's going to say, "Oh, fuck you, Ewan, that's a stupid idea," because you're the title character. I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. I say what go. You know what I mean? That's
the other side of that, though. And I will say that the character of Reva, in my opinion, is a very fascinating character because of where she comes from and where she's at. That being said, she was over directed. She was over fucking directed, dude. There were so many rigid scenes, even Fifth Brother pushing her against the wall. The whole interaction between the two of them, that shit was over directed. I don't care who you are, but that stuff takes away from the performances. So they need to get better at putting people who have the love for it behind the shows, and it'll show in Andor. The creators, the people making the costumes.
Andor
then just spend 5 weeks making the costumes to throw it behind a thing and shoot it and be done. You know what I mean?
Well, and to that, I mean, Tony Gilroy even said, "I am not a huge Star Wars fan, but you're making great Star Wars content." So
we're making good content that is being overseen now by people who are good Star Wars creators.
Right.
They're figuring it out. I think.
They're figuring it out, and they're figuring out how to do TV, right? This is new to Star Wars, right? This isn't just because you came out with The Mandalorian and came out guns blazing and it was awesome and you got it right the first time doesn't mean that there aren't going to be growing pains for a company that has never done Clone Wars animation was different, and that has never done live action. right? You've done animation, you've done a great amount of animation, but transitioning to live action, you came out swinging with Mando. Mando was great
because Jon Favreau brought that shit from the Jungle Book and refined it.
Great.
He is so good at using that screen. That's why it applied so well in Mando. That's why everyone else fails at that shit.
Well, but and the fact is that they're still figuring out TV. Mando came out swinging and they did it right. They did. The first one was 100%. You aced the test.
It's because they knew how to use the tech.
But then you went back and you made other stories, and it wasn't just the technology that didn't work. It was everything that didn't work. Right? You're still learning. You're learning how to tell stories in 30 minutes to an hour.
Exactly.
That's challenging when you're coming from the movie perspective of telling everything over 2.5 to 3 hours, right? This is where they're failing. And that's why people are turned off. It has to do with the content fair. There's some storytelling errors here and there. I won't deny that. But the real problem has nothing to do with the storytelling. It has to do with the growing pains of learning to shoot, edit, and create 20 to 45-minute episodes and not having hours to tell this. You can show that with Book of Boba Fett. Watch it watch it over the course of 5 hours. It makes a lot more sense than cutting it into 42-minute episodes, right?
Because it's done like a movie.
They just haven't figured out how to shoot TV shows. And then Tony Gilroy comes on and he's like, here's how you do it. Right? This is good. This is good television storytelling. And this is new to Disney as a whole. That's why some Marvel shows work and some Marvel shows don't. Yeah. Because they are still learning. Also, Marvel just has a huge coattail.
Yes.
To ride. And Star Wars didn't, because there wasn't enough movies and content out there for them to ride those coattails. So again, two different IPs, but both companies under Disney are having growing pains. And I think Star Wars and Lucasfilm finally figured out the direction they need to take for telling stories on television. It's hard to tell 20, 30, 45-minute stories when you're used to hours and hours of drawing people in.
The hardest thing too is finding, because you want an ending to an episode to not only feel like a comfortable ending, but it also has to make the audience want more. And at the same time, that's a tough balance.
Chomping at the bit, dude. I was like, no, stop it here. Right? I mean, literally, I was screaming at the TV. Screaming at the TV because it was over. I wanted more. So yeah, they're figuring it out, man. I think everybody gave them a hard time at the beginning. I think we're figuring it out. It's giving us great stuff to talk about. We've been at this for over 2 hours. It's late on the East Coast. And we're going to let you guys out of here. But let's do this. If you guys want to do Thursday night, we can do Thursday night. That's easier for everybody, because I know Matt does way back Wednesdays, and those are fire. And we've been enjoying that. But yeah, I think, and I know you've been on coffee on Mondays, so Mondays are tough. So yeah, we'll try to do Thursdays if schedules meet. Hawks has control of the command center, so he can do it whenever y'all want to go. He can go.
Shit.
But yeah, let's any final thoughts, anything coming up? Let's wrap this baby up.
Man, I'm just
nothing too exciting for me. There's a lot of background development going on my side of things. We'll say that.
Yep. New stuff coming. Trying to get those handles handled. Still.
My name is the Scotty Hawk, and I'm here to talk to you about your YouTube channel handle.
Get over there and check out his TikTok. Also, there's amazing stonework going on over there.
Any of the craft is all linked on my YouTube channel's banner. All those
it's amazing stuff, guys. If you haven't checked it out, the jewelry is just fire. So get over there and check that out. The Matt Cave also has a TikTok. You can get over there and check some stuff out, and he's been posting some fun stuff. I have another thought for you. We'll talk about in the backstage, another video idea like Dark Mario. I'm still looking forward to Dark Mario 2.
It's coming. It's coming.
Wait, Dark Mario 2. If you haven't seen the first video, get down there. It is a fantastic look on what Mario really, the truth about what Mario really is.
Bro, and literally none of you do it because you have to read the game manuals, and
Nobody read it. Everybody
no
just
one's
picks
done that.
controllers, and come to find
Nope.
out, Nintendo, Mario's a vampire. Mario is a soul sucker.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see how this all turns out.
He's going to tell you, but get down to Matt's channel and check out the first iteration of Dark Mario. It's worth it. Anything else going on, Matt?
Trolling.
Doing?
Oh man, we got I got the PlayStation version of Battlefront 2 coming next, so hoping we can get some people up in there.
I'm down. I suck at that game, but I'm
down.
I'm
so you the other night. Oh my god, that was a shit show. I was getting my butt handed to me that whole time, but it was fun. But the PlayStation one, that's where I got my unlocks. That's where I got my leveled up characters.
All right, I'll re-download it, and I'm down. You just let me know when.
And the other thing I got coming up, because I'm just in the mood, I'm gonna bring back the watch parties for my sequel trilogy treatments.
Excellent. Yep. If you haven't watched any of the remastered sequels by Matt, they're actually very good, and they actually put things in a better light for some of you sequel haters. You might appreciate the story from Matt's perspective.
I put out a teaser.
Certain point of view.
Certain point. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and then same old here. We're just we're only gaming for Star Wars games. That's all we do on this channel. We do Fortnite because there's Star Wars people in there, but that's we're only doing gaming for Star Wars games here. And yeah, we're just trying to keep pressing on. We're close to 1,000. I took the PlayStation away and I set up my gaming setup back there so I'm doing other gaming stuff, but the PlayStation is still in the corner, hasn't gone anywhere. We're like in the same. It's crazy. We've been like 884 to 890, and I can't get out of that bubble. We're like stuck right in that bracket. So if you haven't already, I'm going to shamelessly plug. Get down there, like, subscribe, tell your friends. We're giving shit away. We're redesigning. We're doing new merch. I got artists on that bus driving bitch already, so don't forget.
God, I forgot.
Bus driving bitch is still coming. Don't you worry. That bus driving bitch is coming. We're doing some artwork. I got an artist on it right now because I can't wait to make that shirt. And yeah, we're just gonna continue to try to make fun merch, make fun stuff. Every dollar,
purple version, bro. I'm rocking the purple.
Every month, every dollar we make here goes back into this for more stuff for you. I'd like to get to that 1,000 before Christmas because I'd like to give this PlayStation away so somebody can give it to their kid or give it to themselves at Christmas. So definitely get down there, like and subscribe. Tell your friends to come over and just grab your mama's iPad, grab your grandma's phone. Just get on there. They're not even going to look at YouTube anyway, so just like it.
I've already got like 5 family members, so there's 6 entries for me. You guys are screwed.
Yeah, I mean, get. That's how I want you to accrue more entries. Is get your grandma's name on the entry form if you don't want to use yours. I don't care what it is.
You don't have to tell them about it.
Dude, I don't care. I want to give this thing away so I can buy something else to give away. That's all I care about. I want to buy more shit to give more shit away. That's all I care about. I'm trying to do this Mr. Beast style, but no one will get on board. But yeah, guys, I just appreciate everybody for being here. I appreciate you two for always being here. We've been having a good time in the back and gaming, but I like coming on and talking Star Wars with you guys because you guys have such a good perspective. Chat, thanks for hanging in all the last 2.5 hours almost. I mean, me and Scotty have been here for almost 3 hours. Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in and hanging out with us. And I think that's it. So as always, don't forget, get your pet spayed and neutered here. I'm gonna even do it big because I like the Bob Barker. Don't forget to get your pet spayed and neutered. Help control the pet population. As always, tell the ones you love them now because you never know, tomorrow might be too late. And as always, please be safe and may the force be with you.